Hi everyone, this is Julie from Jules and Tyler, and today I'm going to show you what I am doing with my scrap fabrics. I've got lots of them here. I've got different Ziploc bags filled with different colors, but today I'm going to work on pink, and these are some examples of what I've done with junk mail envelopes and with my fabric pieces. You can also cut up your scrapbook paper and do the exact same thing. You can put them in squares, rectangles, triangles. Use just your plain scissors, or you can use your pinking shears. Just, do whatever you want to with this. But, we're just using a piece of junk mail right here. And all I have done to start off with is I've cut it down to make it look like a small frame. Let me get these out of the way here. And put it over here. Okay. This is what I came up with here. I just cut it to where I wanted it to be. And then this is what the main one is going to be. With the pretty window. Okay. And the second half, what I did is I made it into a little flip pocket. And I just made me a strip of the fabric squares and put that on this. But anyway, I used a whole envelope, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay. Let me get my scrap paper here. And just the first thing I do here is I have my Fabri-Tac glue. You could probably use your stick glue too. I've tried that on there and it works good too. Because this will bleed through, what I like to do, let's see how I want to do this. Okay. I like to smear it on here and give it a few seconds so that it's not so wet. Okay, I'll leave that on its side. Now this is messy, so make sure and have your little wipes close by because it will drive you crazy. Here, you'll have fabric stuck to your fingers, and so anyway, try to put the straight edge towards the window so you can keep it in a nice straight line, because you can trim off anything over here. You're just going to have a little bit harder time trimming off where the window is. And so you're just going to go throughout this and mix and match. Keep your scissors close by because you'll be trimming things down to get it exactly what how large or how small you want it. Now there will be a lot of overlapping. So after you glue all this on here, just get your glue, your little fine tip glue, and just reach in there with the little fine tip. And what you'll do is anything that's overlapping, just glue it down, press it down, and it'll be good. Just do it lightly so it doesn't bleed through. Okay. And I cut up ribbon. I cut up lace. I've cut up all kinds of fabric. Like I said, you can do this with your papers because we all have a lot of scraps here. And I'm going to hang this off just a little bit because of that edge where the wire was at one time. Let me cut that off because I don't like that. Let's see here. There we go. Well, shoot. I was hoping that would go down a little further. I will still have to patch up this little corner right here. Let's see. It usually doesn't take that long. Also, adding white in here makes it look really neat, I think. Keep the straight edge right there. It gives a little contrasting color there, and I like that. But you do have to keep reapplying your glue. And if you have larger spaces than this, I think this is like 3/4 of an inch. If you have larger ones, just make your scraps larger so it doesn't take you all day. Okay. Yeah. And I've got new fabrics, I've got vintage fabrics, just whatever you want to. If you want to make it all blue, have your blue. If you want all lavender, I have a real pretty one that I did with all the purples, and that turned out really good. Let's see, what way do I want you to go? I think I'm just going to put you on top of here. Okay, I'm so glad to hop on today. Work has been nutty for over a month, and I keep on thinking I'm going to get to craft some. It's just not happening. So today is Sunday, and I actually getting to have a little fun. My husband was like going, "Oh, you get to craft today," and it's like I don't think anybody's going to be calling today. Just a few texts today for my business, and that's all. So today will be a mild day, and then we'll start all over tomorrow, won't we? Okay. And again, keep your scissors in your bag because you just never know how large or how small that you need. Let's see, I'm going to try to get that corner. Those corners are little boogers, aren't they? I can just get over a little bit. You won't see that curve, and it'll just be a nice little corner there. Let's see here. I've got so many different ones. I have my favorites. It's fun putting little bits of lace on there too. Like I said, just kind of makes it fun. Let's see, how about you? Ooh, I'm still over here. How about that? All right. Oh, don't like that. Let's try this. I'm going to go over here. Now, and some of them, they're just torn, so it doesn't really matter how you want to lay it out. Let's see, I'm going to go down here and I'll trim that off later. Okay, ooh, that's a pretty one right here, the light color. Let's bring that over here. Okay. Let's see. Now my samples I have one with just like the bright colors that I use with my children's books. And then the other is a lot for your Victorian books, journals that you do. Oh, wrong side. Let's put that over here. All right. Well, oh, look at that. That doesn't look very good, does it? Okay. And again, just move it around till you get what you like. I'm going to get this little strip. And again, I'll go back over this later and glue everything down. On this one, I want to get a little bit of stark white here. It just looks so good. on here. See if you can see how I'm doing here. Okay, that's what we have so far. Okay, back at it. Let's see. I'm trying to get some fabrics I haven't used yet. Oh, it's starting to stick. Okay. Okay. Get a little wipey. Get all of that glue off. Okay, where was I? Okay, did I? I have not used you. I do want to put something over here. Let's do that. Oh, let me take it away with me. Okay. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay today. Looks like we're not going to have any rain today. We have rain almost every day, which is crazy, but in Texas, we usually get the rain in the spring and in June, and then shoot, it's like the faucet's turned off, and in July and August, we get nothing. It really makes it rough. Oops. It's an old piece of fabric with a bunch of stuff on it. Let's see. Bring in a little white. I hope y'all like doing this. I think you will. I think it's just a fun thing to do. And I tell you what, I just can't quit using my fabric scraps now. I've made little things for Happy Mail with it and made little frames. I've just made all kinds of things. I should probably go on to something else, but like I said, it's just really fun. Okay, quit sticking to me. You can see that it seems kind of bright. Let's see, where do I want to put you? I think on the side here. Let's put more glue over here. Need a little bit there. Let me see if I can get the lighting a little bit lower. Well, I guess that's not really helping too much, is it? Let me see. Maybe get a little... so you can see it better. Okay, how's that? Okay, what do I want to use next? Ooh, I like these colors. Brighter the better. Get on top of there. There we go. All right. Ooh, where do I want to put you? No, you're too big. Let me get my other scissors here. I do like the pinking shears. They're a lot of fun. My mom had these for many, many years, and I was needing them for a scrapbook project. And it was like, oh my gosh, you know, they were so expensive in the stores. And she goes, oh, I had a pair. So I was able to get that. Let me get some of this scrap paper off of here. That's all gluey. And go back on here. All right. And again, I'll cut out all the excess there. And let's see, get some pink. How about a long strip here with this other pink. Let's see. No. Maybe a little place right here. Let's do this. Get that little strip of ribbon right there. Quit sticking. Okay, what do we want? What do we want? Okay, let's get that. Ooh, I'll put you up here. I got a big old blank space right there, so let's do that. I think I'm going to go ahead and fold this down so I can see what I'm doing. So I can get right up to the edge. I'm going to turn this right here. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. Okay. Oh, here's something I don't think I've used. Come on down. Just slide on down. Quit sticking to my fingers. Oh my gosh. It can drive me crazy. I'm telling you. Oop. Now let's get you down here. Oh my goodness. I'll put you on here. Okay, this one might seep through a little bit, so I'm going to smear that out a little bit there. I know, you want to go straight, I just know it. There we go. You too, you get on there straight. Okay, almost finished with this. Then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Now this is something you can sew around if you want. I like to sew on my projects, but again, it doesn't matter. I've done it both ways. Let's see here. Nothing to stick on here. Now, normally I'd go a little bit slower and make it a little bit neater, but I don't want to keep you on all day long. And I'm sure you don't want me to be on here all day long. Let's see. Oh my goodness. A little bit down here, a little bit right there. Oh, I hate when it gets on the window, but it'll peel up once that glue dries a little bit. I didn't want to cover up any of the hearts there. Let's see here. Turn this way. Okay, just about done. One little spot. Stick it on here. Okay. There's my lid. Okay, this is what we have right now. We'll just cut off a little bit of the excess here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, just A little bit more. Okay, let me move all of this. And change papers. Okay. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and put paper on the back here. And then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew away here. Okay. Let's see. I don't want you to glue yet. All right. And let's see. I cut out some things just so it would be easier and faster. So I just have some dyed ledger paper. And I am going to put this right there. And get my glue out. All right. Okay, so that needs to be up. And if there's any overhang, just cut it off later. Probably go down a little bit further. How straight are we? Ooh, okay. I think we're pretty straight there. Okay. Looks like I do need to add a little bit more fabric down here so you cannot see the white, which that'll be no problem. Let me get my little foam folder here. Let's see. Yeah, I could probably lift that up. It looks like oh, my fingers are so gluey. Okay. Put a little bit right here, but anyway, I'll go back. Or you could get a marker if you wanted to and just color that little space pink. There we go. Just put it up a little bit like that. Oh, wrong one. I don't have any markers in here. They're in the other room. And again, we'll go with cutting our paper down. Still wet. These are not my good scissors, so it does not matter if it gets glue on them. I'm just going to cut that down here. Yeah, just made it a little bit too big. And there we go. All right, a little bit more. It doesn't like that damp glue, does it? There we go. Let me go back out a little bit, since I seem to be going off frame a little bit. All right. Okay, I'm just going to maneuver this around while the glue's still wet. If you want to, you can ink this. All right. Okay. And next we have the little flap. We'll glue that also. Just going to make sure it's lined up the right way here. Okay. And we're going to turn it that way. Okay. I don't want to turn it that way for that one. one too. So let me do this one first, okay? Yes, if it's directional, just make sure you put the glue on the right side. It's hard to see where that crease is, so just do the best you can. And just move it around until you get it in the right place. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. Maybe a little bit more, just a tiny bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, make sure everything's down. And then I'm going to do the same for the other side. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We want that right there. Okay. You just need a little bit of time to dry before you sew it or do anything like that. Okay, I'm going to move this aside and show you my other one. Okay. Okay, what I did here is, after it dried, went to the sewing machine and I did a straight stitch all around this, just so the pocket could be larger. You could do a zigzag if you wanted to, but I just wanted my pocket to be as large as it could be. And then I did a little zigzag stitch. There we go. Gosh. Okay. And that's just hand-dyed paper right there. And then it comes out real pretty on the other side. You can barely see it right here, but again, you don't have to do it. I think it looks good without it. If you wanted to, before you sewed it all together, you could sew around this, the window first, and then you could put it together and sew around and seal it up. And then I made a journal card for this also. And I just used scrapbook paper and just a little bit of ephemera from a card, and I glued it on, and I put it on the back of some cardstock. And then you just place her in the right place where she shows up in the middle, and that's what you have here. Trying to get the glare. Okay, good. Okay, can you tell? Okay, so that's a real simple one there. And if you want to, you can make this as a flip out on one of your pages and just have it flip and be able to put anything you want to in here. Or you can just use it as Happy Mail, or just use the paper clip and put in your book. Okay, I wish that other one would dry, but again, it's the same thing. I think you can see that pretty well on here. I would just trim this down a little bit and round the circle, the corners right there. And if you wanted to, once you trimmed it down, you could either write on here if you wanted to, or you could put something in the corner to dress it up a little bit. It's just up to you. I left it blank on there, but you could do what you wanted to. Okay, the other one that I did was, this was for more of a Victorian junk journal. And I used different kinds of pinks, the mauves, the burgundies, yeah, to match my journal a little bit better. And I did the same thing. I did a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch right there. So you can see that. And then I put a journaling card with two ladies here. And then the coffee dyed paper on the back to write on. And again, you just center that in here. And I just found something that would work. Just the right size, and it worked out pretty well. I like it anyway. Okay, so that's the ones with the little see-through junk mail envelopes. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is a little bit easier. Oh shoot, this is not the right one. Okay, let's see. This is it. I also was going to make a flip. Doing the exact same thing. I was going to make a flip with that. I thought that'd be pretty neat, but I didn't get around to it. Let's see. Okay, this is the other one. This is the other side of an envelope on here, okay? And it's going to be just really, really easy. You're just going to cover it with your scrapbook paper or with digital papers or with music paper. You could do it with old documents, just anything you wanted on here. So I'm just going to use my Yoo-hoo stick and glue this down. I just went with the neutral colors. I thought it would be a little bit easier, and it just, since the fabric that I'm using is, you know, such a patchwork hodgepodge of a deal, that I think it'd be too busy if you put too much of a pattern on here. Okay, that's what we got here. All right, we got the front side here. Let me turn this over. Oh, let's just do this. Okay. Okay, on this here, should I go ahead? I can't remember if I did that. Oh, I guess I did that afterwards. Let me put the back side on here next, okay? And I found some little music paper, little kids' music, because this will go into a book that is a golden book, or, you know, the Rand McNally books, one or the other. And let's see here. I thought I marked this, but I don't think I did. Okay, let me mark this real fast. See, get this exactly where you want it. I think I was going to use this side. Okay, let's see here. Where's my pencil? And just get your pencil here. And get my cutter. And again, you can also ink around this once you've finished. I have my ink, but I don't think I'm going to ink on this one. Usually on my my books with all the children book pages, I usually don't ink because they're usually brighter pages than the ones with the Victorian junk journals. Okay, I can barely see that line. But I love these children music books. I found several of those, and they're a lot of fun. And some of them have the greatest pictures. Some of them do not, but the ones that do, I just have a lot of fun with those because I use the pictures and, you know, I use the music. Okay, so it depends on which side you're going to have it here, and that's going to be my top. So I'm going to flip over and do this here. Guess I didn't do a good job on that, did I? Oh, I know what I did. And I'm just going to put this down. I measured going all the way to the edge, and we definitely don't need to do that. My glue is a little globby. But once it dries, you never see a thing. It doesn't look lumpy. And then I'm just going to come over here to the edge. There we go. Okay. I'm going to press down a little bit, just make sure that it adheres. There we go. Ugh. I'll tell you what, after you do this and you're sitting around and you see your fingers and you just start peeling glue off, I guess y'all guys have that problem too. You just can't get it all when you wash your hands. Okay, let's see. And I'm going to trim this off here. Get that sticky off there. And looks like it needs a little bit off here. And I'm going to go down here. A little bit more maybe. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. Let me see, just a tiny bit more, I think. Okay. Again, just make sure you have it the right side up. Okay. Now, I also got some fabric strips, and I did the exact same thing that I did with my paper in the envelopes, and I just glued it down on here. If you want to, when you cut this, you can go to your sewing machine and you can stitch around before you glue it on. I think it'd look really neat. I did not do it on mine. Oh, I did. Oh, I did do that. But anyway, I'm not going to do that because we don't want to waste any more time. Of course, I could pause it and do it. Oh, that does look good when it's, can you see that? It does look pretty good like that, but I won't do it today. I'm going to have this rick-rack on here, so I think that'll be good. So let's see here. I'm just going to mark on here, then cut it with my fabric scissors. So I can line that up halfway straight. Come on, there we go. Okay, and let's put that on here. Which way? I think I like the ladybug facing down. Okay. Let me get that off. Clean that off a little bit. Okay. You know, since I haven't done any crafting in a month, I really didn't remember what I had done. I tried to look over it real good, but I didn't even notice the fabric. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to smear this down. Make sure it's everywhere. Just so my fingers can get gluier. Okay, let's put this on here. Okay, I'm going to turn my ladybug that way. Do your best you can to get that in the right place. needs to go a little bit further. Just kind of stretch a little bit. It always works when you stretch it. Okay, now this is when I want to make a hole. I hope it's not too wet. Okay, I'm going to go down here. I'm going to measure. Let's see here. Okay. Try that again. Okay, we got 6, so we want to go 3. Let's hope that's going to work with it still being a little wet. You look pretty good. Oh, come on. Yeah. Come on. Sometimes you have to just keep on. And it worked. Yippee. Okay, good deal. Okay. Then, let's see if I can get all this. Here I'm going to glue this down real fast. How about that? Put it on this paper over here. I have so many papers from work and from family members and friends. They give me all their scrap paper, so I have inches and inches of scrap paper. So I'm happy about that. I don't think I can ever run out. I think there is possible. Okay, just gonna get my bone folder and press it down. Okay, there we go. Move that. Now, for the cute part, I love rickrack. I don't know if y'all are like me, but oh, I want to use it on everything. It is so cute. Just makes everything look good. Oh gosh, you're a little short. Why are you short? Did I not measure you right? Uh-huh. Okay, that one's good. Let me grab it. I think it's close by. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Let's try that again. Well, you don't want it too short. Okay, how's that? No, all right, I'll just cut that off. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna get my fabric tape back out and glue this down. I think I got about every color of rickrack now. I've got vintage and I've got new. So now I'm just going to put it right on here where you do not see a gap. It just goes over the fabric on there. Okay, just barely over it. And we'll do the other one. And just adding this just really finishes off the fabric really well. Because you see how jaggedy it is. But you can use this fabric for the pockets like this, or you can use it as belly bands too. Or just, you know, put them on tags. But just make you some long strips. Okay, let's see, do we look halfway? Level there. Okay, that's what that looks like so far. Okay. And then what I did here is I just had some ephemera. This is a sticker. And then I just cut off some scrapbook paper right here. And I'm just gonna give it a little outline so that you can see it a little bit better. Because doesn't it look better like this than like that, because it really doesn't show when you do that like that. So what I'm going to do here, get some glue. Okay. Stick it on here. Try to center it up to where it's even on all sides, if you can. And then I think I will use the Fabri-Tac. Okay, here we go. Oops, I think I'll get this corner here. Don't want it pulling up later. How do we look here? Does that look pretty centered? Okay, I think so. All right. Just going to bring it up a little bit and press it down. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And that's really all it is to it. Now, again, you'll have those places that you'll need to glue down just a little bit, the overlapping pieces. And you can put more decorations on here if you want. It's just up to you. And it's just a little flip. You'll just put it on your page and it'll flip over. And again, you can add anything you want to on here. I'll be gluing this down right here. I should have already done that. I'll do it right now. And then you can add anything you want to it. Let me get it turned this way. I'm just going to put a thin strip. Okay. And then you'll just slip a little piece of ephemera, just like I did. Now this is something you can decorate on the top if you want to, or just leave it for journaling. Sew around it. But that's all there is to that right there. Anyway, I hope you liked everything, and I hope you'll do this. It's just really fun. Once you get started gluing these little pieces of fabric together, really you can't stop. It's just too much fun. And you'll find things around your house, you know, that you want to put in your junk journals and just put a little bit of decorations on there. But yeah, I hope you like it. But anyway, that's all for today, and I hope I get to see you again soon. I think business will slow down after school's out, school starts again, and maybe I'll be able to craft some more. So y'all have a great rest of your Sunday and be blessed. Thanks. Bye-bye.